Hello, everyone. Everyone for joining us live and online, and for those of you that will be watching the recording a little bit later. I hope for those of you who are on school holiday that you're enjoying your school holiday. For those of you that are still working, that you are surviving the term that you are in. And I'm sure you're also looking forward to a new upcoming school holiday. So welcome to our GEG or GEG South Africa. Anthony calls it a GEG. I call it a GEG. I can't remember what Nicole calls it. But this is our group of educators for South Africa, and it's our third or fourth one, I think we are doing now. We didn't do January or February. We started in March. Fourth one. Thank you, Anthony. It's our fourth one. And just for everyone that's new, here are our leaders. We have Nicole. She is also our leader. She will be joining us hopefully soon. Then I am Karine, and then my co-leader is Anthony as well. I'm sure everybody actually knows us by now. So we're not going to do an introduction again. If you want to know more about us and what we do and how we came to this, go and watch one of our previous videos. We do an introduction there. We're just going to fall away with today. So if you have been on the EdTech Leaders Group and in all of the chat forums and everything, and if you even had the privilege to go maybe to ISTE in the States, Google made a lot of announcements. I have been trying to wrap my head around it because I work for Google for Education Partner. We had some knowledge of what was trickling down. That came, put it all together, and then all of the great announcements with ISTE. So everything is not now top secret anymore. Under embargo, we can share them. And if I remember when I was a little bit of a teacher, these announcements overwhelmed me and I didn't know where to go, what was the new thing. So hopefully today we'll go through some of the announcements, most of them. Some of them actually came out again last week as well. Maybe wrap our head around everything and where everything fits into, because all of the announcements are not applicable to all of the packages. Some are just for fundamentals, some are for plus, some are for teaching and learning. So hopefully this will help you to make sense of it.
And I think it's important, guys, feel free to jump in and ask questions or point out stuff that we might have missed. We would love some conversation. You don't have to be mute participants, except for Clarissa on the treadmill, apparently.
So credits to Google. I did not set up the slide deck myself. They shared it with us. To help with that. First up is the Gemini app. So the Gemini app is the one that you go onto a different tab where you go google.gemini. So that's the Gemini app. And then with that one, the biggest announcement, I think, was, and Anthony, my favorite announcement, is the fact that Gemini and Notebook LM is coming to all ages in our organization.
Yeah, and with no mining of data either. So neither of those will mine your data either. That's really important. That's probably bigger than the all ages thing.
True. And the thing that they gave it for all ages because it's safe now. Correct. So they are doing a little bit of a name change. So it's not the normal Gemini that you would have with your personal Gmail. They call it now Gemini for Education. And as I say, it's a new brand with a version of the Gemini app, and it's now built in as a core service within Google. So that means that it's enterprise-grade data protection. So as with all the other data in your Google for Education domain, it is protected. As Anthony said, it's not being shared with outside the domain. It's not being used to teach the other large learning models like data mining and all of that. And a great thing is now it's also being managed. You can also now manage now within the admin console. Have you started managing in the admin console, Anthony?
What's really nice for that is you can manage it per age group even. So if you've got your OU set up per grade, for instance, the grade 4s, we don't allow them to have certain aspects of Gemini. And then we do a training and ethics course, and then we open Gemini for them so that they have an understanding of how to use AI in an educational context, even at grade 4 level. So it's only open for a little bit of the year for them. Martin, go ahead.
You're muted if you're talking, Martin.
Yeah. Sorry about that. No problem. For education, is that what it is for everybody, staff and pupils as well? It's Google, it's Gemini for Education, but it's still the same product.
Yes.
It's just the difference between the two products, as I mentioned there, is we can, as admins, we can manage it, and they don't mind for data. So they use regular Gemini to build the Gemini LLM, and that builds, and then they copy that across to the Gemini for Education, which doesn't do any data mining. So you don't have to worry about your students putting their personal names in, or putting their mom's or dad's names in, or phone numbers or anything. None of that data goes onto the internet. It's completely ring-fenced.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference for us as a school. We're much more comfortable with the kids using this, so we're actually pushing them towards Gemini and a little bit away from ChatGPT. And the other thing they announced is they are Common Sense Media accredited for that's. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So they're Common Sense Media. So Common Sense has said that they are good, strong, they're compliance, and that's a website I trust as well, and lots of parents do. So it helps us a lot.
Yes. One of the other things, I'm just looking at my notes on this, I have to go back to this slide deck, is if you, it's the first time a user asks a fact-based question, Gemini will automatically run its double-check response feature. So it runs a higher version of the, I don't speak technical, the higher version of the model. It's 2.0 model, something like that. Anthony, help me.
Yeah, so basically it just double checks that the facts is given is right,
Yes.
using two different models. So it checks itself against itself.
Yes.
And it takes a little bit longer to give the content back, but make sure that it's given a fact and not hallucinating. So they're trying to avoid hallucinations to kids.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing is the safety factor. And I think that's why originally, because big questions were, why isn't it available to users younger than 18? And then Gemini became available for users of 13 years and older. I think Google wasn't sure it was safe, but now it's safe, and that's why they rolled it out. And then also it's available for all editions, fundamentals, teaching and learning feature, and your plus license. So these Gemini features are available for all of our editions there. I did not know about this one, but this is quite a nice one. If you have Gemini on your phone, they call it Gemini Live. So with your camera, you can show like the math problem that the learner here is working on, and then you can ask it any calculations I've missed there.
And it'll step them through it as well. Oops, sorry. It'll step them through it as well. And they can say, guide me through this, and it'll actually guide them through where the errors happened, etc., etc. So it's quite a nice. My daughter is using it to study for a prelim. So she'll do the work, and then she'll see if her answer matches the memo. If it doesn't, she'll go to Gemini and say, guide me through this. Where have I gone wrong? What have I done wrong? So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's Gemini Live. Yes.
Yep.
So that's also cool. I do see it says only available for users 18 and older. So I'm not sure how restricted that is. Have you tried it?
So we have designated our matrics as 18 and older. Some of them are under 17 that we have, with permission from the parents.
Okay.
Now that will turn in 18 this year. So only our matrics can use it. Our 11s and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's only 18 years, and probably because it's not safe already.
It doesn't have the guaranteed non-data mining because it's still on the app. They still have to build it into the app.
All right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Another thing is also, for all editions, it supports visual learners with better visual aid. So within Gemini, you can now ask questions, and then it also can create a visual for you, and that's still coming in there. I'm a visual learner, so this is quite nice for me, and I can think if I was a student there to create me a picture, you can get better visual aids. And then share Gemini prompts and gems with others in your domain to help them accomplish the similar task. So for those of you who do not know what a gem is, the most simplest way I can form a gem is like a saved prompt. We call that a gem. And then you can share that prompt with colleagues, with other people, and then they can use that prompt there, and you have your gems there. Hello, Lindsay, with others. So you can share your Gemini prompts and gems. And I'm going to come back to how great you can do that within Classroom as well. That's also coming, where you can share it with your learners there.
So that hasn't rolled out to everybody yet.
In the coming months there.
But I've already created 3 or 4. The one use case that I see is for policies. Staff policies. I was talking about Notebook LM for this, but the gem could be just as good. Put in all your policies, and then people ask questions about school policies. I still think Notebook LM is a bit better than that, But if it's more shareable, it's a question. It's something that's there for you.
Yes, and then I think where they're going to use gems, or people will use gems more, is when they have the Gemini Pro license, where you have Gemini they worked into all of the other different Google apps like Gmail and that, and then you'll have your gem there. So I think that's maybe a feature they're going to. Yes, Lindsay.
Hello, peeps. I just
Hello.
wanted to say how's it, and also just share, for those of you who will or may have access to gems, the thing that I really like about it is that you can add multiple references, just like you can with Notebook LM. But if you're wanting it to create you like a past paper, for instance, then you can feed it the docs that are already examples of the kind of things that you want, and then you kind of so it's more than a shared prompt. It's like you can actually teach it to perform a certain task. So if you're like, okay, here are my last 5 school newsletters that I've generated, or here are my last 5 batches of what have you, then it's really good at kind of replicating stuff based on things that you've fed it. Not so much like obviously Notebook LM does a great job in terms of making it into a resource and podcast and something for learning, but for admin stuff, gems are really great.
Yeah. I must admit, I haven't worked with gems yet, so it's great that you guys are sharing. It's not something I've actually played around with. Clarissa, your hand's also up.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So on Gems, I actually use it because we're a CAP, we're not a fully CAP school, so I had to use it to recreate Afrikaans foundation-based curriculum. So what I did is I just imported or gave the documents that I wanted to draw from. So I uploaded the CAPS foundation curriculum, and I uploaded a few different documents that I wanted to draw from. And I literally recreated a whole new curriculum from that. Yeah.
Wow.
Using
Saved how many
Gems
times?
with a prompt.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Clapping hands.
And it took about a half an hour where it would have taken me days.
So what I'm hearing is maybe in the future, coming future, teachers will actually be able to take a full June, July school holiday, where they don't have to do all of this prep work and things like this. Oh, thanks for sharing, Clarissa. So please, guys, when we go through this and you using the new features, you're on that WhatsApp group, like Martin did when he did the Google Vids. It's great if you share how you're using these features or asking questions. This is what this group is for, is to share and collaborate with. You're muted, Ant.
Sorry, here's one for you. This is one I created, a Gem, a festival scheduler. So I've given it a prompt that says, you're head of sports and organization at sports festival. You're ready to go, but need the following information. So it requires this information. So if I only put half the information, it says, this is great, but I still need the start time and how long your matches will be. Or if you leave out the names of the schools and say, I need the names of the schools or the teams, and then it creates a program for that festival. So you can say each team has played 2 games or 3 games, and it creates a program for you on a spreadsheet. It works so well. Yeah. So just as an example.
I could have used that to do when I was doing the netball. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then for safety features as well, admins will have the option to enable or disable the sharing of prompts and gems by users within their organization. So you have that feature, especially for the primary schools or the naughty teenagers in high schools as well. Yes, Clarissa.
So if I ask those of you that used it, so if I compare Gems with, let's say, Magic School AI, where you had that tutor, where you could create a tutor based on certain documents, would Gems then be doing the same thing?
You could, using the right prompts. I think it's a different use case. We'll probably find that tutor sort of comes into Google Classroom eventually. It's not there yet, but I think they'll build something like that into Google Classroom rather than making it a gem. But it's not there yet. But if you use the right prompt, you could make a tutor. It's all about how you prompt. And all Magic AI does is write the prompts for you, or Magic School, or any of those school tutor style things. They're just writing the correct prompts. And if you know how to write a prompt, you can do your own.
You can use Gemini to get you a prompt, can't you, for a gem?
Probably. I haven't tried that.
This is all AI.
Yeah.
And then also all of this comes back to the admin console, where admins can quickly search Gemini conversations as well if they have line of sight of something that has been done inappropriately, export the results, and get usage reports using Vault. So it makes it.
And for those who don't pay for extra space on a license, it does use a lot of space because it takes quite a lot of processing. So you can set it to keep it for 10 days or 30 days or 90 days. So you can change how long you keep that data for as well. Unlike some of the emails and stuff, which pretty much stay forever. Not quite, but you know what I mean. But this, you can actually specify how long the data is kept for.
And Anthony, for you in a school, how long do you think will be a good time to keep the data for?
So we keep it for 30 days, just in case there's any parents coming back and we have this for this. We keep other data longer. The kids won't really get into trouble with each other in this. So we keep emails and chats and docs for longer, because that's where, like by sharing or by email, that's where sort of bullying happens. What the gems you're looking for is inappropriate use of the gem for individual, although it's education safe, so it won't answer certain questions. It has been taught not to do that. So it's not an open Gemini model. It's safe for education. But we just keep it just in case we'll get an alert, ask for alerts. We also use Bark in the background, so that helps.
Okay. And do you get an alert if they search for something inappropriate?
No. It's on future suspicion right now. I'm hoping they bring alerts in, but it's not there yet.
Okay, like the objectionable content or objectionable words you get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Dylan.
Yeah. So, is there a way, from some of the threads I've seen, which is concern me a little bit, are teachers able to see the engagement with like the chat thread? I know the admin, from what I understand, admin can have a look over, but no IT admin is going to have that educator hat on, that pastoral side of the teacher, to actually care about how the kids are engaging with a bot.
So remember, you don't have to have, you can make them a non-super admin if they really want to have that sort of impact. So you could make them an admin that only sees certain parts of your admin console, and you could give them access to this. But for now, no, it's not as granular as that. If it's unless you make an effort, it's not that granular.
Yeah. And for your, I'm just thinking of CloudEd or the other, Google partners. Yeah, it's been rolled out with default on. So, and we all know you get schools and schools and leaders. So as a default, it's already out there without, I love, Anthony, your rollout you described earlier, organizing it into OUs, setting policies, the education first, talking about digital citizenship, talking about
ethics first,
Yeah, is there any way to, I'm just thinking, you guys, your partners, is there a way that you are helping your clients to make sure that it's a little bit better? It's great, Google, it's free, wonderful, it's out there, but as we know, with all of these things, we need good humans to drive it.
Some feedback for you, Corinne. I think we can have a chat offline. Let's get Dylan offline about that and see what the possibilities are.
I don't know if Lindsay also wants to. I know what we did is we sent an email out to our schools. We were informed, and I know the technical department sent an email out to our schools, and they
we did this
to inform them.
Yeah, super admins always get an email from Google when there's a change being rolled out as a default on, but then we normally just echo it with one from the sun.
Yes. So it kind of relies a little bit on the school administrator. Now you get the email that says action required or something, and then they tell you what in the implications, and then the partners will probably just reinforce it.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Dylan?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, appreciate it.
Pleasure. I'm assuming you didn't get one from your your partner in Mauritius or wherever you are. I'm like, not my intention. Let's move on. And then Anthony also already mentioned this. Admins can set for how long the information is retained in the admin console. And then you can assign gems and notebooks from Notebook LM directly into Classroom. So this has also been a great feature that's coming out now. It's still busy being rolled out. It's not rolled out yet. It's coming months. Already had a school that asked about it yesterday, and we checked it. It's not out yet. We use this assigner directly a Notebook LM or a notebook from Notebook LM and a gem through Google Classroom. Now, my question would be, I haven't seen it, but I wonder if you would be able to track the conversation if you assign it through Classroom to a student.
They haven't said anything that deep. I think that's why they haven't launched it straight away. That's why they said coming months. I think this is something they're going to be quite careful about putting into just automatically, because if you share the wrong things via an LM, that could be an issue as well. So from the teacher side, I think they're going to be quite careful. But from the sounds of things, they've done quite a careful implementation of Gemini within the whole ecosystem. Not perfect, but as careful as they can be when we go forward this fast. So I would assume that they're waiting to make sure that that sort of functionality is there, but there's nothing out there. There are not even rumors about that yet.
Yeah, I also haven't
No.
heard it, but haven't seen it practically. So those are the exciting things coming out with Gemini for Education, which is now going to put it the safer version of Gemini, and then Notebook LM. It's like I said, if you've been here for a while, it's our favorite tool actually these days. And then they're expanding Notebook LM to all students. Usually it was only available for 18 years and older, and it's also coming to all editions.
And video podcasts.
Yes, you're jumping the gun. I think that's
sorry.
up.
It's too exciting.
There. Great video overviews with Notebook LM. So they have the podcast. So Anthony shared on his previous video where he took the podcast and added another program and made 2 podcast characters. Now you'll get you'll be able to create video overviews with Notebook LM. I think this is only for certain languages. It's not a lot of it's not Afrikaans people. Sorry, definitely. Available for English and also in coming weeks. And I think it might also just be a little bit for global users for 18 years and older. That might be a feature. Then Google Workspace with Gemini. So for those of you who have so this is a very expensive license. You need to have the Google AI Pro for Education add-on. So you need to have the Gemini license. Yes, Lindsay, it is, if some of you have inquired about it, it's a very expensive license.
Many dollars.
It's many dollars. So I'm going to run through these features quickly.
There are rumors that the pricing will come down, but the cost of actually running the prompts is what's keeping it up there for now, like with most AI. The expense of actually running the prompts. Yeah.
Quite a few cool features. So with Gemini in Forms, you can ask it to it can analyze your data for you automatically, coming to Gemini with in Forms there. To summarize form responses. Also, you can generate 8-second videos. That was autoplay. For those of you who do video creation, I know in the EdTech Leaders group there was a question asked about that. I'm not very clued up on this one, but you also need that Gemini license, unfortunately, an expensive one. What some schools have been doing is it's a floating license, so they have been getting 1 or 2 for some teachers. Then they get to play around with it or use it, and then going over to use for another teacher as well. Gemini proactively handle your task with scheduled actions as well, so you can schedule certain actions in Gemini. So if there's something you need to every Friday, you can schedule the action every Friday, and then then you have your data there. And then Gemini in Classroom, which is, I'm excited about this one. Having it in Classroom, yes, it makes things easier. It makes it easier for me as a teacher with my kids on devices and assigning my things with Gemini in Classroom. And it's coming to all editions as well. So on the teacher side, Gemini in Classroom tab, if you're the teacher, is getting a makeover. It will look a little bit different. Things have moved into that tab as well. Practice sets used to be in a different version. Things have moved around to the tabs. And it will, I think, 15 plus scaffold tools for educators. It's going to help you there to outline a lesson plan. You can click on it to outline a lesson plan. It helps you to create a rubric. If you're doing your assignment and you need to set up a rubric, you can create or convert a rubric. A lot of activities there, and it comes in a new, so you will see there, it will be rolled out, and then you'll have that Gemini Education button over there.
I'm going to jump in here. and
Yes.
take over your home screen, I think. If I
Go
can
ahead.
find the Gemini tab. Why is it not fine? Okay, I'm just going to print. Excuse the mirroring that's going to happen for 2 seconds. But here's Google Classroom. There's Gemini. That's all there, but there's so much more than what they're shown there. And we've been playing with this a bit at school. And the two that really stand out are the ones where you create a vocabulary list. So for
Yes.
instance, you choose your grade 6s, and our 6s are doing Wonder by Palacio. You don't even have to spell it right, so I'm not going to try. And then
That's
you
my
go
favorite
generate.
book.
It's an incredible series of books. So, and then it'll take a few seconds, but it'll give you a vocabulary list that shows up in that book and examples from the book specifically. So, sorry, I just want
That's
to tell you.
amazing.
So there's, so it's actually Augie and Mrs. Brown and all the people in the book. So it's not that it's just giving you a vocabulary list, it's relating it back to the book that you're in. The other one that is absolutely incredible is this common misconceptions. We're going to do the same year, and we're going to go one day again by Palacio. I know I'm spelling this wrong, but it doesn't matter. And you do that, and it shows you the common misconceptions that are in the book and how you can deal with them as a teacher and what sort of things you can do with your students. So here's misconception one, that students might believe that August Pullman's physical appearance is the only aspect of his identity. So then they give you activities that you can do, like beyond the surface character charts. If you only knew me, inner monologues, where the kids write in inner monologues. So it gives you activities to help dispel those misconceptions, which I think is just an incredible, incredible resource. We play in with this quite a lot. So the more we play, the more we find.
Oh, and what else did you find? You've been playing around with it.
Yeah, so okay, I'll do one more. I see there's some leaps and stuff coming up. The other one, a choice board. You all know choice boards by now. The rubrics are really cool, but the one that the teachers liked is for the kids who struggle with reading is the re-leveling of text. So you can put your worksheets in there or your whatever, and it'll re-level it to up or down. So kids that you want to challenge, you can write up, and kids who don't want to challenge or are struggling, you can actually level down, which is amazing. So yeah, the lesson plan, lesson plans are lesson plans, quizzes are quizzes, but those three are really, and if you're doing then IBL or inquiry-based learning, you can craft hooks for that. So a hook to a topic. So again, grade 6, and we're going to go Wonder by Palacio, just because I know we're doing this. And then you can say, what do you want to do? Do you want to look at sparking the curiosity of the book, or do you want to find a gamification of the book? Or do you want to check understanding? Let's spark curiosity. And we're going to generate a hook that'll craft curiosity about the book that you could possibly do before you start reading the book. So there's mirror activities, and there's 5 or 6 or 7 different hooks for those kids. And you can just export those to docs straight away. It's really brilliant. And remember, this is all without data mining. It's all with fact checking, as they mentioned earlier. The same stuff that they put into Gemini for education shows up over here. So all the fact checking, everything is done.
Oh, that's great. And it's coming to all editions. It's coming to all editions, available globally in English. So that's a great one there. And then we're just going to go through some examples they use to generate lesson plans. In central destinations, everything, the key thing here was, I know everything is central for you as a teacher also in Google Classroom. And then when you're grading, I used to be an English teacher, grading, you can get Gemini help throughout. So this is for plus and teaching and learning features, unfortunately only, where they can give you suggested feedback for that essay or suggested grading and that. But this one is just for if you have the plus license, that one is not for free. And then teacher-led AI experiences, where you can assign your notebook LM directly in Classroom and also your gems.
Again, that's not available yet. It's still running.
Coming soon. Yes, there at the bottom. But it's coming, and I'm happy to say it's for all editions as well. That makes me glad when things are for all editions. And he can engage with the gems as well. Create new, select existing. I'm just looking at that screen there on my other screen there. Data-driven instruction and differentiation that they rolled out there. Classroom analytics has been expanded, so you can do a little more with classroom analytics for the people with plus and teaching and learning. It's available for Plus now, but these are one of the features that are coming to teaching and learning if you have a teaching and learning license in your domain. So we'll see relevant data and insight about the class, the teachers, surf it throughout Google Classroom. And I'm going to get to there's one nice thing with integrated Drive visibility as well. Some of the things that are relevant and real-time insights, I mean, you can just manage your learners' activity from Classroom Insights. And here's the Drive view activity. So in Classroom, you can go and see, available now, whether or not a student has opened up the assignment or not. When last did they work on that? I remember when I was teaching, then they would say, but ma'am, I did do it. It didn't save it. I was like, that doesn't happen in Google. Sorry, that's not a thing you can use. Or they say, I never submitted it, or I haven't opened it. Or like, I can open up, yeah, you never worked on it. You didn't not click to submit. And now you can see, I'm checking on Classroom PT. I see you even haven't opened up on Drive. So it makes it easier to track your learners there. We all know our learners and who we need to pay attention to.
That is paid for. That's only on Plus.
Plus.
So be aware of that.
Coming to teaching and learning, though.
Yeah, we've had it for a while now. Especially I think we've had this aspect because for about 2 months where you can see what's been opened and closed, and now it's going even deeper in that. So I just the fact that you can see 16 students have not opened this document ever makes a big difference, and actually tells you which students it is. It's really great.
And some of the Plus features that were only available on Plus is coming down to teaching and learning. And as Lindsay said there, Plus you need to get domain-wide licenses, but for teaching and learning you get individual or single licenses. And not all of your teachers use Classroom as widely as some of your teachers, your innovators or your innovation leaders. So if you get teaching and learning licenses for them, they use Classroom. Some people don't. So as Lindsay said, it's worth the bucks. Do that. And it also might be a way you can get your school to go into Plus if you need some motivation there. Bulk grading and groups. So when I saw this coming out, so I was a additional language teacher, and there were about 5 kids in each, and I hated marking essays because I had to decipher everything. So you know that those 5 essays you mark first, and you can now group with groups and all of that. You can mark by group. So if they are in your little remedial group, I can go to that group and mark their essays first. And then you can also sometimes do bulk grading as well. You want to say something? You haven't? Yeah, you're not in English. You're the fun teacher. You do coding and robotics and your garage there. So you can quickly and efficiently grade all students' work on the grade book by grade all, or you can choose to do. And then you can also, if they're in groups, you need to email a group of parents and a group. You can do a bulk email there as well. I think that also will be on the email and sort by group when you are grading. But this is also only for Plus and teaching and learning packages. Google Vids, and Google Vids is coming to all editions. Everybody will be able to make a Google Vid. It's another favorite thing. And that's coming to all editions, and you can also assign it through Google Classroom or different ways there. I think we did Google Vids the previous one. Yes, we did Google Vids in our previous one, so you can just go back to that. This one is a yes, Dylan.
Yeah, any indication on the timelines for those vids for the freeze?
If you're on rapid rollout, you should be having it by now.
Should be now, yeah. Look, we pay, but I'll show you. Sorry, I do jump in and out. I apologize.
No,
things come slowly to the rock, yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to share Classroom again and create vids. Right there. So it has rolled out at least to Plus, but I assume if it's in Plus and it's saved, everybody will be with everybody now. Just checking the rapid schedule rollout.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a Plus feature a couple of weeks ago. It's new in Plus as well. You couldn't do this a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
And you could do videos through videos, but it wasn't built into Classroom. So this is now loaded. This is now loaded into Classroom. So when we presented last month and I was doing vids, you had to go to vids.google.com. And now you can do it straight from here, and you can make a video straight onto the assignment that you're doing. So a teacher can make a video as well. So from here, I'm obviously in teacher view. I can make a video to introduce something to the kids straight from Classroom.
Your template there.
Yeah.
And you can still assign it through Drive. Right? You can click on the
Yeah,
Drive there. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
just, oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
So if
To
you go
keep that for
Drive
next
here,
year.
you can assign your old vids, but the ones you made previously. But like you create a new Google Doc that goes straight into Classroom, you can do it straight from here now as well.
Okay, great.
And the vids features, are they enabled with like screen capture, maybe like similar to the Screencast app on Chromebooks?
Yes. So
we've got stylus integration.
um,
Cheers, Lindsay.
Cheers, Lindsay.
bye.
Yes, it's all there. Everything you can do on vids is there. I haven't tried screen capturing on vids yet. I think it was available, but if
You do
not,
screen recording.
yeah. But if not, you just do a screen record and upload it as a video anyway. So either way, it'll work.
Yeah. So on vids, you can do a voiceover. You can just do a video. You can do your screen and video, or you can just do a screen. So it actually will replace some of those other third-party things that those Chrome extensions we have. But you can only do 5 a year for free. You can do a direct screen recording, make a screen video there. Your limit is 10 minutes, I think, on a vid.
Yeah.
Google vid, 10 minutes.
For now, I'm sure it'll increase.
For now, yeah.
Can you do?
Nobody wants to hear the teacher for longer than 10 minutes either. It's great pedagogy.
I think if you're making more than 3 or 4 minutes, you're talking for too long.
Yes,
It should be TikTok length to engage the generation.
Just 50 TikToks.
And Google Vids is very user friendly. It's you'll see it's a lot like Google Slides. So some of the things we saw in Vids, example, that right panel there also came, building blocks also came to Google Slides now. So it's very intuitive to do.
And it's in our previous video if you don't know.
Quick links. So on Google Classroom, you have a little thing there for quick links. So you can assign things to your class if you want them to have a link. I'm thinking about maybe your assessment plan or something they have to have access to throughout the year. Do you have a suggestion, Anthony?
So yeah, great use cases. I haven't started using them yet, but we have in our classroom already a section called important websites. So when we teach on Tinkercad and Cami, and so we can put those websites on the front page now instead of having them separate. Because the big confusion we have is, I'll give an example. Tinkercad, there's 2 we have to place. We have to place one for them to join the Tinkercad classroom, which they only use the first time, and then tinkercad.com once they have an account already and they're in the classroom. Otherwise, they try to join the classroom 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So we'll put the Tinkercad join link for the first time in the normal classroom and the quick links on the left-hand side of the page where they can get to straight away.
Yeah, and what's great about this, because I was thinking you could do that with auto launch on a Chrome, but if you don't have managed Chromebooks for the auto launch, also me as a teacher can manage this now. I want my kids to have, I'm going to refer to this website today in my lesson. I add that link into Google Classroom instead of creating assignment or a material. I can just add the link there on their stream page, and they can have that there.
Yeah, I just tried it. It takes 5 seconds. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And then for those of you on the primary schools with read along in Classroom, it's also a plus feature. It's for the assisted reading, or not assisted reading, but reading program, which is a lovely program, and they've expanded on that as well. So if you don't know about it, it's a reading platform, and then you have a little AI assistant, Daya is her name, that assists with reading out loud. But imagine you have to do that in a class of 30. And everybody is reading out loud when you struggle with a word. One of the things that they've actually came to is, because I'm jumping in my own slides now, you can have silent reading mode and listening mode as well. So where the learner can listen to what you've assigned through read along, or only they read silent reading on their own, because some of those readings do have comprehension as well. This is you can get read along on your own. It's a separate app as well. But if you want to sign it through Google Classroom, you need to be a Plus client there, because then you have all of these other features as well. For example, your Phoenix and Skills dashboard. And this is
it's teaching and learning as well, huh?
And teaching, I think teaching and learning. Yes, teaching and learning add-on, as well. And so I wasn't that low in the primary grade, so I don't understand all of these words, but I'm sure if you do work with it, you understand them. But you can provide skill-based information, and the great thing about it, as you can see on that GIF there, it gives you data on your learners that you are assisting with their reading. how have they improved, how quickly are they reading, all of that. Gives you analysis there, and that's available now. And then also I did the reading mode. So what was on this one? Yeah. Oh, great thing which wasn't available previously. You can now upload your own text. So before this, it only had big generated videos of books on there. It was quite a large library, but it's an Indian product, so it was a lot of Indian storylines or Spanish storylines. But now you can upload your own reading or text onto read along as well. Only in English and maybe some other languages we can see there, Brazilian, but no other South African language other than English available. And then it will still be able to assist, and then the DAIA will assist the learners if they struggle to pronounce it or something like that. And you can even add your comprehension questions if they have to read for comprehension on that. So this is great for up about foundation phase until grade 4. And the fact that you can actually add your own text now, it's great for higher up grades as well. I'm thinking about my grade 6 learners. I taught English additional language. So everybody who wasn't comfortable reading English, I could load a appropriate text on them that I have on read along.
So what's really great then is they can change the Excel level of the work you give them so that they can have a high understanding. So that's incredible. I'll definitely be showing. I haven't played with this at all, so
yes.
I'm learning fast here.
And then you, because especially if you on the Plus license, you have your groups in Classroom, so you can adjust the same text for each group with the Excel level that you have that's appropriate for them.
Amazing.
And then integrations and connectivity. We don't use these ones, but we do use Wayground or Formally Quizzes. So that's now a Classroom add-on, so you can do it directly into Classroom if you're on the Plus or TNL license there. And that is now a new one that wasn't there previously, and I don't know any of these. I don't know if you know them, Anthony.
So
integrations.
Other add-ons that we have there are Kahoot, Edpuzzle, Formative,
yes,
Book Widgets, Cami, they're all there. So there's most of the stuff we use. I didn't know, I didn't see the Wayground, so I'm busy adding it as we speak.
Yeah, so that's a new one I think that was launched now, that is now an add-on in Classroom there.
Yeah.
And then with Classroom Analytics, you can, I know we do WAND in South Africa as well, but you can do your attendance there. It's in pilot there, which is not really, I think, applicable for us. And then other things within the Google Workspace for education is Google Visits available for all. Why?
We've talked about that, yeah.
Oh, and this one, I thought this was a good one. A lot of schools do their parent meetings online via Google Meet. And then you had to have different bookings, and then different Google Meet. Otherwise, the other parent could automatically just join my current parent, the one I have now, and sometimes it rolls over. You now have a waiting room. So you can have one Google Meet link. You can send that out. And then whoever joins goes into a waiting room. And when you're done with your person, you can let them in.
And from what I understand, you can also stop them leaving. So for online schools, so that's where the exits comes in. So
yes,
I believe, I haven't seen it because it's still coming, but from what I've heard is you'll be able to stop people leaving your classroom. So you could say, okay, they come in, but they only leave when I'm done teaching or whatever.
Okay, but they can stand up from the computer and still leave the room.
Yeah,
but
correct. But
yes.
you can't stop that, but at least they're listening. Luckily, we're not teaching in COVID anymore, touch wood, so we don't have to use this as much.
And there was something else they also said, what you can also determine who's allowed in the waiting room and who's not allowed. So not anybody can join that. You determine who's allowed in that waiting room. For example, if you share your Google Meet link on a WhatsApp group or something for your class parents, that can leak out. But if you have the correct details for them, you determine who's allowed into that meet or even in that waiting room there. But this is also just for Plus and teaching and learning there.
Yep.
I like this one. This is a guy, because a lot of schools are moving away from WhatsApp, especially the high schools, for the sport groups and the communication with that. And so now in Google Chat, so they're going back into Google Chat, you can do a bulletin board. So you can pin certain documents or links on a board, so you don't have to go and search. I know you could search there at the top, shared. If things were shared with you, you could go there. But now you have pinned messages and pinned resources there in Google Chat as well. It'll make staff groups, maybe staff groups can also move away from WhatsApp and onto Google Chat. You never know. So that was a feature I was excited about. Just actually within our company, I shared and said we shouldn't miss that. And then with Google Slides, it's getting building blocks. And this looks a lot similar to what you find in Google Vids. We can add, I think it's like stickers. And you can add a few things there. That's coming up to Google Slides as well. And I think, because you have building blocks in Google Docs, you all know that, and then you now have Google Slides there. And then with Chromebooks, a lot of questions for Chromebooks is how can the teacher manage the devices, see the screens? How can we do that? And there was always only third-party or external people. With Class Tools, is bringing device management to teachers in their classroom. The only thing is the teacher and the learners need to be on a Chromebook with a CEU license. Then you're able to create, I think they call it a session or a lesson, and you do class, and it's called Class Tools. So it says available now. I don't think it's available yet. I think they're still busy rolling this out. This is quite a new feature. We've seen some demos. And what you can do with this is can share lesson content directly to a group of students. So you can like push out content for them and it pops up onto their Chromebooks. You can check in on a student's progress in a single view. So you can actually see their screen. You can go and see what they're doing on their screen. You can automatically display live translated captions. So if you're in a class tool session, this is more for, it's not available in our countries with our languages, but as I'm teaching my lesson, the learner can have it translated into their native language, like Spanish or something like that, auto-translated, or even just have the captions there. If they are hearing impaired, they can have the captions on their screen, and as the teacher is doing that, you can unlock more with so much more. What was the other thing? So you can, great feature for me was I can see what my learners are doing on a screen, a single view, and not an entire classroom yet. I'm sure that will roll out. You can't see all of the screens. You can see one screen. And then you can also lock them in. They can only be in one browser, as far as I know, in one tab there. So that's coming out.
So nearly like enforced console mode or whatever they call it.
Yeah, kiosk mode. Or something like that.
Kiosk mode temporarily, yeah.
Yes, temporarily, and or lock mode in quizzes, in Google Forms as quizzes. But it's only for Plus, and Plus is the first criteria, and then also managed Chromebooks. It needs to have Chromebook teacher and learners on CEUs for that. But this is going to be good for the classrooms. Yes, Martin.
Do you know if that, when they say managed Chromebooks, do you think it would apply to Windows devices that have a CEU?
Flexed.
Yeah.
I can't see why not.
Once you flex them, they're Chromebooks. They're not Windows devices anymore.
They are Chromebooks.
There's no hardware component to that.
I don't think it's a hardware component. I think it's the locked in the domain that they can speak to each other. But then again, you can't push out apps on a Flex device, which you can do on a Chromebook.
Even though they say available now, it's not really available now for us to play with yet.
Yes.
I haven't been managed to launch it, so we'll have to wait and see. But my assumption is that it's based on the operating system rather than the hardware in the operating system in the actual computer. So I would assume that if you flex a Windows machine, that would work. So the nice thing is that you can use that temporary flex option, flex for a little bit. Oh no, you can't, because you have to assign the license every time you flex. So no, that wouldn't work.
Good question, Martin. If I get someone in the circles, I will ask them.
I think we must ask Deirdre. She'll have an overview of that. We'll get hold of her, Martin, and give some feedback next month.
I think on there as well, you know that it's coming, that you're going to be able to manage Windows devices using the Google admin.
Yeah, that's also coming up.
So what I'm hoping there is that this will translate into you using it on a managed browser on a Windows machine. I'm hoping that's where we're going with this, because that would solve a lot of issues.
I think the biggest problem that I can see with the Windows machine is they can't control the OS, they can't lock it in Windows and stuff like that. So that you probably wouldn't get all the features. But for us, even if you could just see the iPad screen or the Windows screen, that would make a huge difference. Yeah. So I think really about locking the students in. but seeing a device's screen is what we're really looking at. So hold thumbs, touch wood, whatever is your favorite. Good luck, Tom.
And then with Chromebook Plus, Chromebook Plus is like a more advanced Chromebook. Some features are coming out today. A lot of AI features also into that. Summarize, help me read feature. You guys will see if you go through all of these things. For example, if you have the Gemini license in Google Vids, you have the option of help me create. And I see now a help me summarize and help me read. Looks like the words that Google is using for what AI is doing. But these are some great features for Chromebook Plus as well. This is a nice one where you do just a screen grab and it searches there like Google Lens with your camera. And this was a cool feature, I thought. With this text capture, you'll see you capture that text and it's automatically going to put it in your calendar. Look, there it goes. It says add to calendar. And now you add that to the calendar. It's a small thing that makes it personalized. Sorry?
Only on a Chromebook Plus.
Only on a Chromebook Plus, yes. Text capture there. Oh, and this one I'm leaving to you, Anthony. I forgot to tell you. I don't know what this NLP policy and device search is. You can search your devices, or Martin might even know. I'm not this technical. It's some fancy search then.
Neuro-linguistic programming?
No, I wasn't
I have no idea.
That.
I have seen this topic, but I can't for the life of me remember.
Okay, then it's fine. Then maybe it's applicable to you, but it wasn't.
I'll do some research for next month.
Okay. I can also ask Deirdre.
Yeah.
I'll ask the technical people. Content transfer. I know you could do a Google takeout.
So content transfer now allows much quicker way to get, say they're removing schools, or
Yes.
and they can transfer to the new domain, Google to Google. So it doesn't take everything as far as I know, but it takes all the content within their classroom and much more simply. So you say transfer, you enter your destination account, and it goes straight across. It doesn't download and re-upload.
Okay.
So
I did a Google takeout.
Yeah, in a takeout, it downloads the whole package. You then move it to the next device and upload it back into Google. This goes from one account to the next account.
I did a Google takeout from my previous school account directly to my personal Gmail. I didn't download, I transferred it there, but it took a while. It took a few days or weeks to do that.
Does it not download a file?
There's two options. You can download a file and then upload, or you could transfer it, and I transfer it to my
Again, something that we need to play with a bit. It's available now, so I'll...
It's available now, but what I read up doesn't replace Google Takeout. You still have to put Google Takeout on in your admin console and content transfer on. Schools about refer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to comment on this. I don't know enough about it, so let's.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading what it is, but
it's nice to give us some topics for next month.
Give us topics for some next month. Yes, like I said, there was a lot of things we need to wrap our head around, and that is a wrap. I think we did enough. I talked a lot and fast, and we covered a lot of things we need to get back to. And that's a wrap. Any comments, any other questions, anything you're excited about with this new rollout, other than Notebook LM and Gemini coming to everybody? You guys can unmute your mics.
All the features that they say are coming, how soon?
They never say, they say coming soon, and then they'll say coming in a few months, and they both mean the same thing, I think. Google's faster, usually a couple of months. If they say a couple of months, it'll take a couple of months, half a year. But if they're coming soon, it's usually relatively quick. But they'll never commit to those sort of dates. They'll never say coming soon means 3 weeks, because if something goes wrong, it could take longer.
So what they don't commit to a date, but what they do try is as soon as this America's new school term starts, they'll have probably most of the classroom features, most of the teaching and learning features out yet. I am not sure about class tools though. I think that might take a little bit long. I can't say that will be rolling, although they've been working on it. So coming soon, I think you can aim to start looking at it for when the American schools start.
Schools come back, yeah.
And that's about end of July, August?
Beginning of September, isn't it?
Or September.
Yeah.
So it's a few months for us, and then...
Because they came out pretty quick with the classroom stuff. That was available like almost instantly, I think.
Great.
But not the GEMS or the Notebook LM. So there's still a few things coming, and they'll probably wait till a couple of weeks. It's usually just before they go back to school, so the teachers have time to work with them for a couple of weeks, and then so that some of the trainers can make their content and get it out there.
Yeah,
The ones
and
that
they
make content.
aim. Yeah, and then they aim for the start of the US school term, which is then in September. So for planning purposes, Martin, I think you can maybe go with September.
Cool.
As a rough guess.
Good job.
Yeah, September month has 30 days at least.
We'll just go to that 3 o'clock in the morning email from your super admin saying, you know, it's there. Why haven't you used it yet?
It's there. Switch this on.
Yeah.
Then we say, I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, everyone that's watching the recording.
And everybody might watch in the future.
And might watch in the future. Please don't judge us if things have changed recently.
Yeah, it's